Good day and welcome back to our very first Fix My Soap video. So this is something new that we're trying. A friend of mine sent the soap to me and she said, she does like a soap, but there's certain things that she wanted to change about it and she doesn't really know how to go about it. So I said, I can fix it for you, but I would really rather that you learn how to do it. So we are going to look at Marie's soap and see how we can chop and change it a little bit. Please bear with me. This is a new format for me. I'm going to try to make it as plain as possible. It might look overwhelming if I open all of the screens here, but just hold on, because I think if you're going to click this, then it's going to be so easy for you to start to tweak your soaps and tweak your formulations that you really love them. So the first thing that she had a problem was it dries too fast. She really struggled to get it into the mold. So here you can see that she put the little sample soap for me in the mold. She did use fragrance oil, but it already started to trace very quickly before she added the fragrance oil. So it's not this time the fragrance oil that happened here. Fragrance oils are notorious to seize up your soap, so it was not the problem here. The other thing is she loved the feel of it, but she said it was a little bit drying. So Marie, let's go test your soap, and then we will see if we can fix it a little bit. If you are new to this channel, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment if this video works for you. And if you want to see more of this type of content, then just let me know. Then we will do more of them. You're welcome to send your soap if you're in South Africa. I don't think you want to courier it overseas. But I can look at your soap as well and tell you how to change your recipe. So first, let's test Marie's soap. Okay, Marie, the moment of truth. Let's test your soap. We've got a house chicken. We are recording outside because we've been without electricity on and off for 3 days. It's not going to taste nice. So we are recording outside because we've got a little bit of light here. Okay, back to Marie's soap. It lathers beautifully. Look at this. It is nice big bubbles. It's nice and creamy. It lathered very fast. Okay. Right. One of Marie's complaints were that it was a bit too drying for her. So I must say I love the big bubbles. I love the creaminess that comes through just a little bit after it. I don't think it doesn't feel skittish. It's not too drying for me at the moment, but we're gonna do a deep dive on your recipe, and then we're gonna see what happened there, how we maybe can improve it. And yeah, but that will happen as soon as we've got electricity inside the house. So I will see you soon. Okay, so now that we've tested Marie's soap, and sorry for the rooster that's interfering there, that is our kick-out egg that was just saved and it became very tame. So yeah, Nugget is very curious. Yeah, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to get him out of my stuff. The reason why we were outside, I can't remember if I've mentioned it, is we had a lot of rain and a lot of power outages, and we've got load shedding still here in South Africa. We're on stage 6 again, so we must take turns to get electricity. And the two of them were not overlapping. I'm way past posting a video and I couldn't record, so we are doing on desperate measures. But anyhow, okay, let's look at Marie's recipe. I've opened it up here in Soap Making Friend. If you're not familiar with Soap Making Friend, I will leave a link in the description that I do a deep dive how to use the recipe, the soap calculator. It's actually a very nice calculator. Everything happens on one screen. It's one of the easier ones for me, and it's actually got a few more options. The free one you can unfortunately just use the screen to do your recipe with, but there's a way to save it on your computer so you can use it multiple times. But yeah, okay, here I've opened up, that's the other thing. If you stand over a little block, then you are going to and you scroll, then you changes everything. So please don't stand over something. Okay, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the fatty acids to change the recipe a bit. That's what I'm going to look at. So if you go down, we're going to start the normal thing. As I said, it's a solid soap, normal soap, so it's just then I'm going to work on percentages. That's going to be the easiest. Light to the liquid to lye ratio is 2:1. Super fat, she said it on 5%. We're going to look at the super fat. And then the fatty, all the different oils are on your left hand side. So the information, I just want to show you where to find it. If you go and stand over the information, you can click on it and it will open up, well, that's going to tell you the properties and the fatty acids as well. If you go a little bit lower, you will see there is a add new and expand on the left hand corner here. If you click on expand, it's going to open up for you the fatty acids like this. So you're going to have, let's just move it a little bit to the left. Your oil on the left hand side, it's going to tell you all your lye, the saponification values, the iron D and the iron S. Iron S is an interesting thing. It tells you a little bit on how fast your soap will trace. So that is something that we have to look in Marie's recipe. Maybe she used something that's going to speed up the trace a bit. So up to 140, 150 is fine. Anything over that is going to speed it up a little bit. Anyhow, so but you got all the fatty acids here on the right hand side. So you've got your palmitic acid, stearic acid. So I took all the major ones from her choice of oils. So I didn't do the 1% and stuff. So if this wasn't myristic, then I didn't add it to my little table that I'm going to show you now. So, but this is where I found the fatty acid information. And if you go more to the right hand side, it will tell you if it's conditioning, if it's the hardness, the longevity, the lather, all those kind of things. Okay, so here I've added a recipe. You can shift things up and down. So I've rearranged the stuff so that we got the one with the most oils on top and the least amount at the bottom. Okay, then what I've did it, I put everything. Okay, let's first quickly look at the recipe like this. This is all the ingredients that she got here. If you look at the properties, this is what we're going to look at. Her cleansing is 20, it's a little bit high. So you can adjust that in two ways. You can either up your superfat here on the left hand side, she chose 5%, or you can adjust your ingredients so that the cleansing is a little bit lowered. So it's two ways that you can do it. We're going to chat about the superfat in a moment. Then on the right hand side, what I see here is the linoleic is a little bit high, it's 24. Your sum of the linoleic and linolenic together, the two of them, you want it 15 or below, just to reduce your chances for DOS, dreaded orange spots, for the new ones in soap making. We've got a lot of acronyms that sometimes just doesn't make sense. We make them up as we go, eh? So we're going to look at how to reduce this linoleic acid so that she's not going to run into problems there. Total iron is says 148, so it's not supposed to trace really that fast, but we're going to look at what might have happened here. So that was the stuff that we got here out of her recipe. If we look at the recipe in Soap Making Friend, and we look at the graph, here on the right hand side, you can see the graph looks beautiful. Everything is within specs, and remember, this is guidelines, it's not rule set in stone. So if your stuff is a little bit outside what they say it should be, it's not really a big issue. As we said, the cleansing is a little bit high. Even if it goes way out, then we can change stuff here. So don't stress too much about that. Okay, to try to make the video easier, I hope this is going to help you guys. I've added again all her ingredients from what she used the most to what she used the least. Okay, let's see if I make it a little bit bigger here. Okay, so coconut oil, she had 30%, sunflower oil 30%. So I look at the fatty acids. As I said, I only added the ones that was the main fatty acids in a specific oil here. So if we look at coconut oil, then the iron S is very high. It's 258. So it's going to trace your soap a little bit faster. But there's only 30% of it in there. So it's not the main factor there. Then lauric and myristic acid, those are the two that's got the cleansing value here. So if you got an oil that, if your soap is not foaming enough, look for oils that contain lauric acid or myristic acid. These two are your powerhouses in cleansing and your foamability here. Okay, then it's got a little bit of palmitic acid. If we look at the sunflower oil here, palmitic acid, oleic acid is very high in linoleic. So this is where the high amount comes from. So we need to reduce the sunflower oil a little bit because there's nothing else that we can really reduce on this. So this one is one that we're going to look at. Okay, sorry, I left some of it out, so I just quickly fixed it. So something suddenly disappeared on your, appeared on your screen. It was me just adding it quickly in here. Okay, so next up we're going to look at your shea butter. Shea butter, oleic and stearic acid. Stearic acid is obviously, it's isolated stearic acid. Now this is one of the naughty guys here. Again, you see, magic. They suddenly the stearic acid, or the INS appeared here. Sorry, I'm running out of time and we've got load shedding in less than half an hour, so I need to record this quickly. So yeah, the stearic acid, INS very, very high. Now this is where I think her problem came in. Stearic acid, isolated stearic acid, if you add your sodium hydroxide too fast to your oils, then this actually kind of seizes up. So you need to add it in a slow drizzle while you are mixing. The moment when you mix all of your lye solution in, then you can stick blend it. But if you just pour it in, it sort of just glob up. So I think this is what happened here. So for a beginner recipe, I'm going to reduce this just to make it easier to work with. So, but you can see the other two that it shares with, it's the shea butter and our tallow, also got stearic acid. So if we take this out, we want to increase either the shea butter or the tallow, just to get back to the same properties regarding cleansing and creaminess and so on. So this is what we're going to do. If we take one out, we're going to see which of the other ingredients we can increase or decrease to make this work. Then let's just quickly go down the castor oil, 5%. You don't need more than 5%. Castor oil got ricinoleic acid in it. You will see here in the back, it's the only oil that exists that got ricinoleic acid in it. So it's a very unique oil. It is a team player. It helps to keep the foam bubbles lasting longer and yeah, a little bit of a moisturizing and so on. So castor oil, 5%. It does not sound like much, but it's enough here. Okay, then the last one, jojoba oil. She used 2% in here. Now, the reason why I'm going to take out the jojoba oil, it's actually a liquid wax ester. It does not have fatty acids, so it does not saponify, it does not become soap. Except for the 12% oleic acid here. So it doesn't really contribute to the soap part here. So I'm just going to take it out. The other reason why I want to take it out here is jojoba oil is really expensive. For soap making, it feels for me like a waste. So Marie, I would advise you keep your jojoba oil for creams. I do have a few videos on creams and they're going to be more. So use it for something that's going to be a leave-on product on your skin so that you can get all of the benefit out of that. So, okay, so first thing is we're going to take the jojoba oil out. So we're going to see this is oleic. So we're going to add it to one of the others that's also got oleic in here. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to add it to the tallow. So I'm going to take this out and then I'm going to add it here to the tallow. So then it's going to be 7 there and we're going to take this out here. I hope my sums are going to work. I'm in a rush now and my brain does not work on a math. So please, the end product is going to be awesome there. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take out the whole jojoba range here because we're not going to use it anymore here. Then we're going to look at the stearic acid. This stearic acid was most probably the reason why she had a seize here because she maybe added it a little bit too fast. Okay, so to make it an easier workable recipe for a beginner, I'm just going to take the stearic acid out. Now let's look at stearic acid. Okay, obviously stearic acids, we can either add it to the shea butter or we can add it to the tallow. So I decided I'm going to take the stearic acid out and I'm going to add it to the shea butter. So we're going to make it 0 there. Then the shea butter is going to become 20. Okay, so let's just take the stearic acid out of the equation here just to make the screen a little bit easier to manage here. Okay, then the sunflower oil. Sorry for this up and down. This is so... They stole my laptop and my mouse and everything in December. Those you guys that follows me knows that. So I'm struggling with the new gear and the very old gear like the laptop. So please bear with me. Okay, so the shea butter. Sorry. the sunflower oil. We want to reduce the sunflower oil because of this very high linoleic acid that's going to make it prone to DOS. So I'm just going to halve it, but I'm going to first look. The oleic, sunflower's got oleic acid, so we can either up the shea butter, the almond, or the tallow, so we can move it down there. Palmitic, so I'm looking here, the shea butter doesn't have palmitic, so it actually share more similarities with your sweet almond and your tallow. So again, tallow is quite cheap, so I'm just going to add, and the reason why I prefer tallow over the reason why I wanted to do the tallow instead of the almond is we took the stearic acid out. So if we add it to the tallow, we up the stearic acid percentage a little bit there as well. So let's make the sunflower then 15% there, and we're going to add 15% more to our tallow here. So we're going to go to 22 if I'm correct here. Okay, so we can leave it at this here, but the almond oil, this is an optional one. The sweet almond oil, only 8% in here. Almond oil is also very expensive. If I go and I look at this bouncy thing, almond oil, again, it's share much with the tallow, and we took a lot of the stearic acid out. So for this recipe, I will take and I will add the amount for the sweet almond oil also to the tallow. Might need to raise the stearic acid a little bit, because the moment every time we increase the tallow, we increase the stearic acid in the end recipe as well. But this is really optional. This is already going to give you a very nice recipe. Sorry, I look very serious today. I think it's because I'm in a rush. I've got less than 15 minutes to wrap this up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sweet almond oil. I'm going to add it to the tallow. So we're going to enter 30 there. We're going to take that one out, delete. Okay, so castor oil, I'm going to leave it that. And then I'm going to adjust the super fat value. Or let's see if we need to adjust the super fat value. So I'm going to use now 30% coconut oil. The sunflower oil is going to be 15%. I just need to write this down, otherwise I'm going to make a mess here. Okay, we're going to do 30% coconut oil, 15 sunflower, 20 shea. We're going to take the sweet almond out as well. There we go. And tallow 30 and castor oil 5, and see where it's going to take us here. Okay, let's go to our soap making friend. Here we go. So I've got a recipe here. So what we have done is we left the coconut oil at 30, the sunflower oil we reduced to 15, the shea butter we made 20, the stearic acid we took that out, the sweet almond oil we took that out, the tallow we upped to 30 eventually, the castor oil, and we took out the jojoba oil. So okay. So we're back at 100% here. Let's just look at the graph. Now here you can see the nice green turned to oranges, which means we are on the very, very edge of both of them. It's still within range, but we are on the point to go out of range. Now this is just guidelines. It's not really set in stone. It's not rules set in stone. It's very good guidelines, but don't be scared to move outside it if you should. So, but we're still in here. Let's just go and look at our properties now. Our lather still looks very good. Okay, let's look at the graph. The graph shows it nice. So the bubbly is 27. So 27, it actually went, okay, the bubbly is the same. It's the cleansing. The cleansing, I think it was 20% originally. So the cleansing actually went a tiny little bit up, 2%. Then our conditioning is on 44. The hardness, this is going to be a very hard bar of soap, Marie. Then your longevity moved up a little bit, and your creaminess is back to a lovely creamy. So with all the stearic acid that we took out as isolated stearic acid is one of the ones that's going to, stearic and palmitic, gives you that lovely creamy feeling. Okay, so then we're going to get it there, and what we're going to do is we're going to increase our super fat. On the left hand side, have I run past it? Yes, the super fat. We're going to change the super fat to 10%. Okay, let's go for 11. this is, people decided on 2 different ways. I look at the cleansing. The cleansing is 22 years. So you can go half of the cleansing value for your superfat to counter it. Then it's not going to be as drying. So hers was on 5%, so I can understand it was a little bit drying in the end. But then you've got your new recipe, and all of your graphs and stuff is still here in where it should be. The cleansing is up, and I want to show you your, this is your longevity ingredients. Okay, saturated to unsaturated, this one swapped around to the other side, so this is not going to be prone to dose very quickly. Then we want to show you your linoleic. You see your linoleic is now 14%. So we reduced that from 24 to 14. So this is going to be a much more stable recipe here. Let's see what it changed here. Your lauric was 14, it's 15 now. Your myristic is 8, it was 6. That's why the cleansing went up a tiny little bit. Your palmitic was 8. Now it's 13, so it's good, gave back that creaminess a little bit. Your stearic acid was 17. With your stearic acid, we took the stearic acid out, we're back on 17. So, yoo-hoo, we got that one spot on right. Your ricinoleic is still 5, the same. Your oleic, it went to 25. Now 25, it's part of your moisturizing, so that is a good one to be. And your linoleic is fixed now. So your fatty acids looks good. Your properties looks good. So I believe this will be your perfect soap. It's going to just reduce that to over dryingness. It's going to give you a stable soap. And and that is how we change our recipe. So I hope this made sense to you. As I said, if you want to see more content like this, just leave a message and let me know. If there's something else you would like to know, you can do that as well. So, but thank you for spending time with me, and you must have a lovely day. Our electricity is going to be out in about 6 minutes, so I just made it in time. So be blessed until I see you guys the next time again. Keep well and be safe.